Hey everybody, welcome to the Untitled Themed Entertainment Design Show. This is your host, Patrick Lane. We started a little late today. Welcome. Pardon the delay. I know a lot of you rely on us. We just had a little bit of some technical issues with Andy's laptop or his computer. It's not running. So, Charlie, why don't you come on screen and we can have a little chit chat and maybe we can have people get to know you a bit. Why not? Why not chat? How's it going, Charlie? This, you're back there producing the show. How are you doing, man?
Doing well. How about you, Patrick?
I didn't tell you I was going to bring you on, but
All right.
it's showbiz, baby. Well, Charlie, what have you been up to? I mean, how's work going? So people want to know what you do for work and all that. Get to know the producer.
Yeah, it's everything's going well. I'm a creative designer in themed entertainment. Just graduated in 2021. Not the greatest time to graduate, but I'd been working in parks a long time, just in ride operations. So I continued through with that, and then just
what rides did you work on?
I started at Lake Compounce in Connecticut, working on the famous Boulder Dash wooden coaster, among others. And then in 2021, after graduation, I went out to Cedar Point and worked on some of the rides out there. So that was a really good time.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm a really big fan of people who work in operations and kind of get their experience like that. So that's great. So you're in New York, upstate New York, and you are not gonna paint your walls or put anything on your walls. It's a very bare background.
My little pretty blank little office back here, but today was one of my rare work from home days. We had a big snowstorm last night, so
yeah. And just to kind of talk about it, we've talked about it before, but just Andy and I started the network in 2020, and really we wanted to bring people together to have something to do and to get experience and get to know people. And you're probably a pretty good case study for that. Landing a job after graduation. And I'm not sure if when you were interviewing, well, I'm also a producer at TETV, but also Trevor, our other producer, he's landed a gig now. And also CJ, of course, he's been working on I forget if he's been public about what he's working on, but he may or may not be working out of Universal Studios Hollywood on a big project right now, which is exciting for a contractor. Well, hey, you know what, Charlie? Why don't you figure out what's going on with Andy, and I'll talk about a couple things here on the background.
Sure.
So, folks, talking about the news, Splash Mountain closed at the Magic Kingdom. So, for those of you that are involved in theme park Twitter or theme park discussion, quite an interesting unfolding hours. I was watching it like from my bed as it unfolded last night, and really, it's the ride's closed. We know what's happening. We know why it's closing down. It's closing to make way for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I think that's the right name for it. I should have looked it up. But hey, for those watching, feel free to chime in with your thoughts. It's from my point of view, it's just interesting to see kind of how weird it got with like people almost getting a little too intense about it not closing, and got a little political and kind of weird energy around it, and phoning the governor and trying to. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I was trying to wrap my head around it a little bit about when has there been a case of attractions closing not due to underutilization of the experience. So what does that mean? If you look at Maelstrom, or you look at Mickey's Great Movie Ride, or you look at Universe of Energy, there's a lot of factors involved in why they replace those attractions, but the common one is just look, okay, are people actually going on this ride? Is it packing them in? Maelstrom probably had a healthy ending, but I think we can all agree that now Frozen, Mickey and Minnie on Runaway Railway, and Guardians of the Galaxy are way more utilized at the theme parks than their predecessors were. Even if we, you can discuss the merits of the differences in them. So when I look to try to figure that out, I might have had to have gone all the way back to Mr. Toad for such controversy. There were protesters that came. One of my friends and former coworkers actually was one of the protesters trying to save Mr. Toad. They got it ended up just a very interesting thing to just go down that rabbit hole. So Splash Mountain was a very popular attraction. It still is to this day. I mean, it was not closed because of underutilization. It was made specifically to be inclusive of all audiences when they made the announcement on that. So interesting to see how that's going to unfold. And excited for the crew. Really, it's kind of interesting. Whenever there's work going on at Disney in Orlando, I'm always excited because usually my friends are working on it. And same thing. One of my friends is working on this attraction right now, so I'm excited to see how that comes about. Splash is closed, and we are excited to see what happens in the opening in 2024, and when it will open. And actually, I want to predict that later on. This is a prediction show, right? We're going to be doing that as soon as we get Andy back on here. Other big news, very interesting news. Universal made some pretty interesting announcements about opening in a new entire theme park concept. Looks like it's targeted to the little ones. Probably comparable to Legoland. Looks like it's centered around DreamWorks in essentially Dallas, Texas. It's in the outskirts of Dallas, Texas. So, Universal's alive and well, which is really exciting to see. It's kind of same day they made announcements that they're also opening up a destination attraction for Universal Monsters at Area 51 or Area 15. Sorry. Also really cool. I mean, it was just an exciting day for announcements from them. Looking to see what that's going to be like. And I was looking at the comment or the previous episode, and Universal's kind of going gangbusters right now. It's exciting to see that them spreading out. I imagine Disney may follow, or they already have things in the work that aren't announced yet. Well, I have no insider information, but it's interesting to see what that's going to be like as it comes. And then, it's Charlie. I see your comment, but yeah, that was because they didn't want to have two. So Charlie in the comments in the private chat mentioned that when they closed Snow White here to make way for essentially a meet and greet area, they got rid of the Snow White Scary Adventure, then made way for the Seven Dwarfs. And I think the closest answer I got was, there's just too many Snow White attractions. And maybe they can get more people through on those meet and greets, and then maybe customer satisfaction, guest satisfaction scores as well. Back to Universal. Excited to see what that I will go. I will 100% go to their haunt experience. It's just really fun to see that kind of collaboration going on, and I'm a big Halloween Horror Nights fan out here, so to see some permanent installation out there, see if that can work out. Great test of the market. And excited to see that come. Other big news, we did see there were kind of like soft retirements or soft layoffs, however you want to discuss it. But Mark Woodbury is leaving Universal, may have already led as well as a few other kind of higher ups. Pretty interesting to see that, and it's one of those things where they'll come back another way. Maybe they'll go work at another company. Who knows? But interesting to see that shake up. Maybe that makes a little more room for the younger generations to move up, which is great. So we'll see how that works out. There is a position right now on the Universal Creative website for like Senior Vice President of Universal Creative. So that was interesting to see that. So if you are available, feel free to go ahead and apply to be the Senior Vice President of Universal Creative. Interesting to see that position. Then next up, maybe we got a couple Disney announcements as well. There's actually quite a few because it's been about a month since we've been on the air. So I'll start with Galactic Star Cruiser. Big fan of that project. Huge fan, but they are cutting back on the number of shows they are doing. So if they do not have high capacity or high occupancy, they are starting to cancel those and truncate them. It's pretty obvious it costs a lot of money to run that. And if there's low occupancy, they'd rather have people go and shift over to there. So I hope that they keep all the actors and keep the integrity of the experience, and that truncating it to a few times a week is the way that they can make it work, because it's a really incredible experience. So keep your eyes on the globe on that one. Of course, we got a Tron opening date. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
Hey, guys. Sorry about that.
No worries. We are talking about – I'm just running through the news, Andy. So follow my lead because we've already covered a couple things, but just announced April 4th is the opening date for Tron, which is exciting. So looking forward to riding that here. I was at the parks over the last couple weeks ago and saw it cycling. I'm excited to go on the rides, which is really cool. And there's so much news, it's kind of crazy. Nintendo has soft opened its technical rehearsals. That is ongoing. Annie and I are planning to go to Universal on Wednesday. Super excited to go to that project. I'm out in LA for a couple days. I am really excited to go see that project. I've attempted to be as spoiler-free as possible, and look forward to experiencing the attraction. And of course, the sightlines, the controversial sightlines myself, and see if it's really more of an, like if you go to this corner of the park and you put up your angled camera here, you see it, or if it's you just see it. I don't know. So I'm excited to see that. Lots of friends of mine have worked on that project 8 years ago to now to in the field. So excited to see that open up. Mickey and Minnie starting their testing right now with cast members. So they're opening up soon, which is cool out there. And then, I mean, there's so much. I think I even missed a few things already. I talked about the new park in Texas. Talked about monsters at Area 15. I mean, let's go back to that. What's your take on Area 15 and that monsters experience? That's interesting and cool stuff in my point of view.
The what?
The monsters location-based experience for Universal at Area 15.
What about it? I mean, I'm excited about it too. I mean, I
think,
okay,
yeah, just any general commentary or thoughts.
That's going to be, I think, the most exciting thing about the park, because I mean, everything else is just going to kind of be Nintendo.
Talking about Las Vegas.
Are you talking about Las Vegas?
The Las Vegas attraction at Area 15, not whatever that other thing you were talking about. That who knows.
I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping to work on it. I like as soon as it was announced, I'm like, I'm working the phones. I'm like,
okay, cool.
And I've already had a meeting about it, and very excited. And I think that it's going to be an incredible addition to Area 15. You've been to Area 15. I've been to Area 15. I think that it's. I mean, that's going to sort of become a mini urban theme park. I think eventually, with the addition of the, you've already got Meow Wolf there and Lost Spirits, which is sort of offsite-ish, but and that now with the Universal year-round hot, I think it's going to be awesome. Yeah,
super excited to see how that all funds out. And I kind of I mentioned it while you were out, but like, kind of excited to see what Disney's going to do. We know that they are looking to do more experiences that are out in the world that are not their theme parks. So excited to see how they're going to answer the call for that. I'm trying to get my lighting so it's not all crazy in here. Let's see if that helps in any way. That's terrible. Okay. That's a blue light. I don't know. Cool. Well, any other big news, Charlie, that I missed out? I think I hit almost everything. Bob Weiss going to Gensler. So these guys that never retire. That was news.
Yeah, that was. I remember I woke up in the morning. It was shocking news. It was just like, wow, it's the Gensler shuffle now. You got the former design manager of Gensler now running WDI, and Bob Weiss going to Gensler to do themed entertainment for Gensler, and it's just crazy. It's just, I mean, I'm sure it all has to do with money. I'm sure that Imagineering, was pushing him out. He's too expensive. But Gensler's like, we have unlimited money, and we want to do more themed entertainment stuff. So
come on over. I mean, that's the way to do it. So interesting to see that. Yeah. All right. So look, I got this. I don't know where I got this idea from. I think something I listened to in the past used to do predictions. Actually, it may have been Adam Carolla in the Adam Carolla show, and maybe it was Loveline. But he used to do these prediction shows where he tried to predict what was happening, and they go back and review it, and it was funny to watch. And so we have some video queued up. Charlie, feel free if you want to come on screen and kind of just help with this so we can kind of talk it out, because I know this is going to be I'm going to get you back on. So in what day was it? It was January something of 2022. We made several predictions, and the whole idea is let's just see how off we are, how or accurate. And so where do we want to start? Where do you have queued up? And then we'll just go down the line. And I'd like to do it where we hear the predictions, we can go all the way through, and then we can start again and make a. I don't know if there's a buzzer sound we can make, like a, or we have to have a poll the audience, but exciting to see how this goes. And then here, let's have some nice background music.
Well, the first one we have is just, some personal predictions.
Will Patrick get a haircut this year? I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I do not. I have my hair in a bun right now. Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say in 2022, I will get a haircut. Now, granted, haircut could mean trimming just to like look a little bit better with long hair. So, but I also just love letting it grow it out and just seeing where it goes. So I think that's a pretty, we'll see. That might be a coin flip. We'll document that. All right. CJ in the studio. Did I get it?
You did get a haircut though, didn't you?
I got a trim, folks. I got a trim. It was like December. It could have been in January, though. I actually think I got the trim in this year. So we're going to give you a half a point on that, Andy. But I will say that I did get a trim. Since it was the time that it lapsed, I think we're going to give you that point. So nice work on that. Go ahead and play the next one, Charlie.
Next up, I think we had some Disney predictions.
Okay, you don't want to do the personal prediction for Andy? We don't have to do that one. That's okay. Okay, let's skip that one. There's my trimmed hair, everybody. Enjoy it. Sim as well. So let's start. Okay, so you know what? We're just going to throw up some pictures and make some predictions. Let's start off with Disney parks. Not specific rides yet, right? Because we have those later in experiences, but any big predictions for Disney parks and resorts. I'm happy to go first, or Andy, do you want to go first?
Let's see what you have to say, and then I have a specific prediction, so you go first.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to make 50 at once because I'm gonna make it very clear. I think that in 2022, the Disney park reservation system for regular paying guests, non-annual pass holders, is going to be heavily modified or just gone, ripped out. We can pause right there.
My prediction as well.
Definitely wrong on that one. They held it all the way. Even now, they're just now starting to make modifications on that. So that's an interesting one. And maybe it'll fall into our next predictions. But it was announced that they are dropping the park hopping, which is just I try to be neutral. Like I was at Disneyland a few weeks ago. The park hopping there, like you can blow through Disneyland or California Adventure in 2 hours if you rope drop the park. So then you're just like, okay, what do I do now? I'm not gonna. So they are modifying that probably I think it's next week or so, that you can park hop after 11, which is great. They've dropped the park reservations being needed for annual pass holders out here in Florida, unless it's a Saturday or Sunday and it's Magic Kingdom. That's great. I mean, that's they just need to start selling annual passes again. The landscape at Disney is so wacky right now, where it's like I don't know how you can keep track about whether or not you can get a pass, not get a pass. They started the Magic Key program again. They stopped sales. They started sales. It's really quite astonishing how that all works. And I will say, like, big fan of Disney, big fan of all that. But it also seeps out in the general public when I talk to people, like, hey, I'm going to Disneyland. They're like, oh, how did you make that work? Or good luck or whatever. So interesting to see how that all plays out. Well, what do you got? Charlie, what do you got next? Is it more of the same on that?
Next, we had one for some for Universal, I believe. As well.
Yeah, let's see what we got. Thanks for doing the editing here.
For Universal. I think that that Universal is going to continue ramping up, or not continue ramping up. Ramping up is the wrong word, but I think that the snark war between Universal and Disney will escalate as the difficulty of actually going to the Disney parks becomes more egregious and unpleasant, and Universal's like, well, you can just show up anytime you like.
Well, Andy's walked away. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say the same. I don't necessarily know or think that it got any different. Andy, maybe you're a little bit more in tune with theme park Twitter, but did that get worse, or what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't go to Florida last year, so I don't know if it's worse or what.
Well, on the Twitter, your prediction was that the snark on Twitter was going to be there for Universal.
Oh, it's so much worse now.
Okay, you'll have to be the judge of that. Okay, so
I think it's so much worse.
All right, next up, this is going to be a good one. Here we go. We made a prediction. That's my
I think
prediction.
definitely. I definitely agree.
Do you have insider? If you have insider knowledge, just don't even say it. I'm going to say they were originally planning 2023. I'm going to say that it's going to be pushed back to 25. But that's
I would agree with that. Yep.
There we go. We were
right.
right. I had no insider information on that at all. Zilch, and we were right. They made the announcement. Then we also predicted they would make the announcement this year. So have they said it's like spring, or they just say 2025 at this point?
It's 2025.
2025. Okay, well, pat on the back for that one. Next up, we got one for Guardians of the Galaxy. So this was Galaxy opening. I don't know if they've announced the season. I think they announced it for. I don't want to public. I don't know. I think they said summer 2022. Did they say that? I think
so. Yeah.
Okay. Good. So this is the. This was delayed due to COVID-19, right? It was supposed to. Tron. That was all supposed to be open by now. So that's extra time, but obviously we know that basically all construction at Disney World stopped for almost like 8 months to 9 months, similar to how Universal did with Epic Universe Park. We know so far about it. The coaster, it's kind of, they're trying to go for coasters that aren't too thrilling, but just above, kind of that sweet spot above Thunder Mountain.
I think it looks like it's going to be like at the level of like the Mummy.
Right. Yeah, could be there. I'm going to say this is going to be kind of the sleeper hit of the theme park world for 2022. Andy, have you been on this? I forget if you've been on this ride. I may have been on it.
No, I haven't been on it, but obviously we did the show on it. You've been on it. Everybody's been on it, and it's a little bit of a step above the Mummy.
I'd say it's a step above the Mummy, but I would also say that, a sleeper hit. Huge hit. I would even say, not since Rise of the Resistance have we seen that big of a attraction make a big impact, and I think it's more fun than Rise of the Resistance too. Like it's like not as laborious. It's like, I'm not saying it's as immersive as that, but great attraction, huge dynamic change for Epcot. It is the attraction you got to go on. And I think just generally speaking, people are pretty big fans of it. I saw some nitpicks here and there, and I think there are, and I'm sure that, if we got Wyatt drunk, he'd tell us the nitpicks that he even has, but overall a solid attraction. So congratulations to the Guardians of the Galaxy team. They're all on to different things, and really cool to see that was a success. And, I think I root for everyone, you know what I mean? I want everyone to succeed. I want attractions to do well, and I really, did you pull D23, the D23 stuff?
Oh my gosh, I watched that earlier today, and I was just like,
yeah, Charlie, if you could pull that, I think that might be, if you could go back and get it, because I tagged it, because that's worth watching, because we really were we were right about that stuff, which is
we were really reaching, and we couldn't come up with anything, and apparently neither could they. So
yeah. All right, well, Charlie, you're looking for, okay, yeah, go ahead and let's see what we got. D23, this is very like prediction. I don't even tell it's such a vague announcement that it's something, but fair enough.
I don't know. Maybe announcing Star Wars Land for Galaxy's Edge for Paris.
Did they announce that already?
Maybe. Well, there was that whole big slate of stuff that they had announced that then just got canceled, if I recall.
Yeah.
For the Studios park.
Yeah. Well, the Marvel's going there. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So, I think a year for Epic Universe. Basically, I said that
Joe Fox just had a good point. Let's see.
Yeah. Exactly. So
bring up the Joe Fox quote. A comment.
Yeah. So basically, I just needed the audio. I basically said it's just going to be like this really nebulous, broad announcement that's going to be not specific. So that was, and they did it. Gosh, I'm starting to disappear. And what a crazy D23 where they just basically tossed out Harmonious, tossed out Enchantment. I'm sorry, whatever, Enchantment, and we're like, yeah, we're not gonna do those shows anymore. Sorry, guys. That's a pretty big deal to just toss out a show after how much invested went into it,
and to replace it with the previous show and have a standing ovation like it was a soccer match.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it definitely felt like it was that Fast and Furious supercharged moment where if I get Mark Rubio, I forget who it was, but Mark Rubio just said, "Yeah, we wouldn't have built that ride." Kind of like, okay, yeah,
Chiriku.
yeah, oops, yeah, Terry, that's right. Oopsie daisy. Okay, so that's gone now. Epcot, long live Epcot forever. Quite remarkable that was what the takeaway, and then maybe kind of a photo of pardon me, big photo of Marvel, which was just kind of like everything you can imagine in one shot, and who knows what's going to actually be. All right, next up, what do we got? We got a Meow Wolf predictions.
Meow Wolf.
Yeah, let's get to it. Rumblings of property from area developers or people who are tied to Area 15, purchasing some land. There was a very big year for Meow Wolf, right? They opened up the convergence station, they opened up a Mega Mart. Really kind of proved. I think they publicly said that ticket sales are going strong. At least at Mega Mart, I'm not sure about Denver. Really, and even if their sales were not great, and I'm not speculating that they are not great. The industry itself is being influenced. Everybody's referencing Meow Wolf, and every brainstorm you're in, or people are saying, "Oh yeah, like this or like that." We want that immersion. We want to have that more that feel. So they're definitely huge influencers in the industry. Any predictions from you on Meow Wolf in 2022?
Well, I think that you will probably hear an announcement of or some weird Meow Wolf style announcement of another installation somewhere, maybe outside the United States. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think that's interesting. Outside the United States, yeah, that'd be interesting.
And also, I think it's inevitable we're going to start to see like, knockoffs of Meow Wolf more often and more frequently, and just dollar store versions of Convergence Station, showing up in like, Columbus or something like that.
Well, there you go. I mean, kind of right-ish, not international, but they did announce a Meow Wolf in
Dallas.
Okay, yeah, Dallas is the new place to go for themed entertainment, which is exciting. Now, look, folks, we're going to give some more predictions in just a moment. We have a couple more to review. Charlie nodded.
Just one more, I think.
Just one more. Yeah, I kind of trimmed it out a little bit. So if you have any predictions you want us to make or questions, we'll do it. Try to do things in 2023. We'll review it. We'll make some predictions, which is always fun. So here we go. What's the next one? Is it going to be, Galactic Star Cruiser? Oh, trouble marketing the experience. And they've released a lot of information.
That's being very kind.
It is, and to me, I have to. I worked on the project, so I have to be careful about all this. But so I'm going to have to kind of just stay into what I've seen and publicly about it. People are, they're building, because this is a LARPing or can be a LARPing experience. Interactive actors, and they're building the world's most elaborate stage. And when Disney attempted to market this, when things aren't actually what they are, and you're just walking down a hallway, I don't think that's very captivating, and it hasn't captivated the audiences of people. Now, having said that, Disney doesn't really need to have the general public care about this project. Doesn't matter. They're competing on the 4 seasons rate, more than 4 seasons depending on the time of year, and super fans and wealthy people that want to just
have an elevated experience.
Yeah, on a LARP, right? And so my prediction for this is that it's going to open, right? People are going to experience it, and I think that the overall immersive experience that guests are going to have is going to be pretty. The people that are intrigued by that Westworld experience are going to be blown away by it. If you're coming in there looking for a luxury experience and you just want to check out and have a cocktail, not going to be that fun for you, right? As described and marketed, I think this is a game changer for the industry, completely a game changer. I think so this is just me saying, I think it's going to be a creative and storytelling success unlike we've ever seen in our lives with this much money. I know there's been Evermore or other parks out there, but this level of a company going all in like this is going to be incredible. I think it's going to be well received by actual humans that are experiencing it. And I have a little bit of frustration because all right. So I think well received by people who experienced it, but really expensive, and they've kind of hit that price point, So we'll I really hope, and Andy, you missed this earlier, but we talked about how they've dropped down the then like if they have low occupancy days, they're cutting them to try to get it. And you want people there to experience it. You know, you don't want to just be walking around with low occupancy. So I'm my best wishes to the crew, and I really hope they can make it work. And if they need to cut down the amount of shows to make it work, to make it financially feasible, do it. That's the right way to do it. Don't cut the experience down. Don't start letting go of actors, or just make it happen.
Yeah, see, like imagine if they'd done that with the Adventurers Club instead of just tearing it down. They could have just made Adventurers Club Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, very true.
Like a regular bar.
Yeah, because there's not much they can do with that building anyway. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, I think it was kind of like I thought it was gonna be. I honestly thought people were gonna pay to go, but my recommendation. I was talking to a buddy the other day. I'm like, they should start giving like free stays before and after your trip. And they just started doing like literally like 2 days after I told them that, they started doing like $700 off your stay before. Like, just give a bunch of freebies, like free park admission, the stuff that doesn't really cost Disney anything, just to like make it work. And or you know, and I hope that you know, a lot of projects I'm on are referencing in that. That's what people want. They want to be immersed, and it's really expensive to do that, to have actors everywhere, you know. So
well, now that you've experienced it, what was your feeling about it?
I thought it was really incredible. If I was a Star Wars fan that had money, I would save up to do it, and I would have been very pleasantly surprised with it. Coincidentally, I did Sleep No More over the weekend because I was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, have you done that before?
Yeah.
And that is really overwhelming. It's very over. Have you done it?
You've never done it before?
You've done it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was planning to do it right March 2020.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And
there have been a couple of times. I know this isn't the Sleep No More show, but like my brain goes to that show, and that show is like walking into a nightmare. And so it's like, and the level of detail, just how big it is, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. In my head, I kind of had a picture of a couple rooms, and maybe it is
a lot.
It is a lot, and and like for me, it's like overwhelming in a way. And I know I don't know. It's sensory overload, and I definitely managed to get out to the bar a couple times. And when I was on, I was like, I need to have a drink here, man. I'm like, this is a lot. And that the Star Cruiser is a less intense version of that. Like, you definitely don't have that as much FOMO because it's a little bit more prescribed. Because of Sleep No More, people are doing things in different places. And I talked to my wife. I missed like the entire opening scene. I missed because I was like off in the forest somewhere. And I know that sounds weird, but that's exactly what I was doing. And so I was like, okay, I didn't know what to expect. But with Galactic Star Cruiser, you're able to interact with people and engage and all that. And so for me, like I want to do it. I will do it one day, but I want Max, my son, and my whatever future kids that we have to be a little bit older to appreciate it. Because now it's like taking a 1-year-old, I'm not gonna, or 9 months, I'm not gonna, they're not really getting enjoyment out of that. So, and I know the thing is like, a lot of people in themed entertainment are like, oh, I want to go. I just want to do it on somebody else's bill. That's the problem, I don't know how they can get to a better price point or make it work if they, they're not losing their shirts on it with all the actors they have. It's an amazing experience. I'm very grateful to have been a part of it, to have experienced it, to have helped, create it in the minor way that I did. So we'll see.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't go away. I hope that it continues on and continues to find its audience, and even if that means dropping the price a little bit. I think that if they drop the price a little bit, to get, the next level of people below the people that have already gone. Like, I think all the people that can afford to go and want to go have gone. And now you need to like drop the price a little bit and get the next level of people that like really want to go. And, then, maybe they won't make as much money, but at least they'll break even perhaps.
Well, and it's interesting because it's like, I was out in New York. And so, you look, okay, this theater is like people are paying $500 for a seat for the orchestra for Hamilton or whatever it is for 2 hours, 2 and 3 hours of entertainment. It's like, okay, you can stack that up against other comparables, but it's about, are those the right people? How to get that message out, and the Four Seasons basically charges the same for their suites. So how do you get into that? And the marketing, it's a tough market, and I think that a friend of mine said this, and he's like, I want another company to do this because it'll make it more of a thing. Like it's more of a, now it's its own genre, and yeah, it makes sense to do that. So we'll see. I enjoyed it. So we have not made one prediction yet on the prediction show. Why don't we go ahead and make some predictions? Predicting 2023. Once again, I know we have a lot of people watching us. Love to have you guys chime in, chat, throw tomatoes at us. And then I will just say this, Charlie, if you can quickly create little marquees at the bottom. How we'll do this, Andy, is that I'll toss out like a question or a thing. You'll respond, and then you do the same back to me, and we'll just kind of do a few personal predictions for Patrick Kling or career or whatever for 2023. And you do it for me, and then I'll do it for you.
All right. Well, let's see. Do you think that you'll still be working in themed entertainment by the end of 2023?
Well, so yeah, I'll always have a little bit of a foot in themed entertainment, no matter what. Oh, we don't have.
Then yes. So yes.
Yeah, I will. I'll still be in. I mean, just the fact that we have this channel and all this, it always has my foot in themed entertainment. So kind of what Andy was alluding to is last year I started a company called Gift Apply. And we were really, had a great year. We raised over $10,000 for nonprofits for selling gift wrapping paper. And while I was doing that, I was also doing a lot of consulting work for Storyline Studios. And so I still have my foot in themed entertainment and really enjoy themed entertainment. I love themed entertainment. And I do believe that I will always in some way be involved in themed entertainment, whether it's this or Big Break Foundation or actually consulting. I do think I will. Do you think no? Andy, so how about this? Any predictions for yourself? Even a goal or anything like that. What do you predict for yourself in 2023?
Well, I spent last year, I wouldn't say reevaluating my career, but certainly thinking about trying to transition to some sort of full-time executive job somewhere. At one of the companies, it's a possibility, and I'm talking to some people, and I'm hoping that maybe by the end of the year I can, sort of ascend to some sort of executive full-time position somewhere.
All right. Now, would you say that's a prediction or a hope, or do you want to predict it?
I would say that, yeah, by the end of the year I might be, yeah.
All right,
and who knows, that might be a move too. I mean, my lease here is up in 6 months, so who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Should I start getting your plot of land here in Orlando freed up, or what do you think?
A plot of land what?
In Orlando cleaned off here, or what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a loft downtown.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. So Andy, maybe in a executive position. What do you say? Executive is just like a director level and above, or what do you think?
Yeah, somebody in charge of audio or music creatively somewhere.
Love it. There's a lot of opportunity out there. So that's great. Okay. Now look, we'll try to keep these episodes tight to 60 minutes. Any universal predictions between now and 2023?
I don't think anybody outside of Universal could have predicted the Dallas or Houston. Is it Houston or Dallas? Dallas mini park. Yeah. I mean, you and I know a lot of people at Universal, and I did not know about it, and it was shocking. Yeah. And I think it's very exciting, and I think that we're going to see hopefully a lot more details about that come out.
So you think there'd be more details about the but like, and then maybe an opening date. I don't know if they announced an opening date for that. It was just like this.
No, they didn't.
Okay. Would you like to make? Why don't we do this? Predict when that will open.
I would say, given the size and I think the type of attractions that it's going to have, which is mainly, I think, a lot of lifts from other attractions and ports and adaptations from attractions at other parks. I would say maybe like even third or fourth quarter 2025. I think that they could build that in 2 years.
Yeah, I was thinking 2025 as well. I think they can do it,
Yeah.
and I think it's possible they could announce another location for it, probably internationally.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Europe. There was a Europe location they were identifying right now.
Well, I think I have another prediction.
Okay.
I feel it coming. I think that you'll see PortAventura turn back into a Universal Park.
Right. There's rumors about that. Yeah.
I think that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. I will say it's speculation and not predict it, but I think that they'll announce their new I think they'll announce a new location. And I'd be fun to see like us open in Australia, that smaller park like that.
Well, there's already Universal properties at SeaWorld in Australia. They got that big Nickelodeon land there, so and that's very successful.
Yeah, they do have the Gold Coast. They have that. Okay. Other Universal predictions.
That's not Universal. That's Paramount. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Paramount. No worries. I don't work for them anymore. So for I don't know if you know. I have little to no knowledge about what is coming to replace the Fievel. I want to be more conversation. The Fievel area at Universal. If you have insider information, just give me okay. The day after it, and it's funny because this is like right after Minions or Shrek was closed, and Minions were up the next day, basically, for the Mayhem convention or whatever it is. Predictions for what's coming to that area. DreamWorks stuff kind of showed up on the walls. Sounded like they were testing the waters with DreamWorks for their little play area. Any predictions of what that area? And I'll be honest, the last I heard that area was like supposed to be Pokemon. Well, but that was like 5 years ago. And then before that, it was going to be a few other things that I will not publicly discuss. But
I honestly, I don't know.
Sorry.
I haven't heard anything. Much like with the Dallas park, I was like, it's new to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's not a terribly big area. I mean, and it's not. Huh?
Yeah. Well, originally they were going to put Nintendo back there, so I mean, I feel like I don't know who knows what that. But so it's like that's been kind of leaked. I don't know. So they could probably fit, depending on how far back they want to go. I don't think it's going to be as ambitious as that at all, right? So.
Well, I mean, in terms of programming, I mean, I think that they still need something like that area, a little play area for little kids.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they would program it programmatically. I don't think they would sort of just chuck that whole, sector of the demographic, and just be like, all right, we're putting another coaster in. I don't know. They could put a, Fast and Furious coaster in or something. I don't know. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think they would split up the Minions. I don't think that they would put Super Silly Funland there and have the Minions ride be like down the street.
Yeah, I would put my money on like a pretty solid kids area, several Zamperla fun little spinny rides and then maybe a family friendly water ride, which that park does not have. Very interested to see that. And Charlie, they already put like DreamWorks stuff on the walls, so that's why I think it's DreamWorks. But we're probably looking at 2-3 years on that, probably
at least,
after Epic Universe. So,
and I would predict that in the meantime, between now and when they actually start construction or something, I think they'll just scrape that whole area off, pave it, and then you'll probably see another haunted house there for more nights.
Interesting.
Or two.
More spinners is music in my ear. Right. Well, I mean, probably not because they already have the one right in the Whirl and Twirl or whatever that is. Hey, Justin, Thanks for watching the show. But a little family friendly. My whole world right now is just family friendly Stamp Perler rides. So we're really interested to see what that's going to be. I'm excited to see that. Yeah, and as somebody that like has a kid that will be a child at some point, or like be love to go have some more family friendly rides there. So that'd be great to see. Um, Other predictions I'd love to see. Like right now, we have the Villains Mayhem. We haven't no real. But Universal doesn't announce things until they're already built, basically. So, what? Any thoughts on if we're going to see another announcement in 2023 for a ride, like at Islands of Adventure?
At Islands,
Mm-hmm.
I would be really surprised because they'd have to tear something down at this point to build something new.
Yeah, they built out quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, they still have the Poseidon's, or not Poseidon's. They have the stunt show.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. They could tear out that, and then there's that whole the big arena over at
Toon Lagoon.
Toon Lagoon too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, come to think of it, with Epic Universe, that the Islands and Universal are sort of just, sidelined a little bit.
Well, they had Hagrid's and they had
right, but I mean, like for the future.
I think they're probably a little bit on autopilot for a little bit.
Yeah.
For now. I think maybe, so I don't think we're not going to hear peep in 2023. Any Halloween Horror Night predictions you'd like to make? As I might be fading away in the sunlight.
Well, I hope the Lagoon show comes back this year.
Yeah. Have you heard any word? I mean, I know you're in.
Well, I mean, as you know, like the Lagoon sort of just got torn apart in the hurricane, and
I'm sorry.
basically, yeah. Sorry. No, I mean, a lot of the hardware in the Lagoon has to be replaced, and I don't know if that's going to be done in the next, 6 months. I don't think so. Maybe. I'm going to join the hope with Twitter that there's a Megan maze. I think that would be fantastic. It's such a popular film now, and I think that it would be kind of a no-brainer to get that in. And it's Blumhouse, and they already have Blumhouse houses, so I'd be surprised if there wasn't a Megan maze and or show.
Yeah, Charlie says Evil Dead as well. I'd love to see the return of a nostalgia IP. We had Ghostbusters, we had Beetlejuice. Love to see if they can keep exploring that a little bit. I've also loved to see like if they could take a. I don't want to say Back to the Future, but take kind of like an old kind of movie and kind of make it its own thing, in a weird way, in an interesting way. Interesting to see that. Not Back to the Future, but something like that. Okay, so Universal, basically no operational changes to them for COVID. They're back to where they've operated their theme park like theme parks have operated for the past 50 years, 60, 70 years. Let's talk about Disney. All right, just any major attraction news, will that be announced this year? And I'm not talking about like an opening day. I'm saying, hey, we are now building X for Epcot or for Disney Studios or for whatever it is going to be. Any major announcements to be made this year?
I don't think so. Unless, they follow through with some of their pie in the sky ideas for Magic Kingdom.
I would not. I feel like that was a lot of speculation. I don't even know how real any of that stuff is with Bob Iger back, and I mean, who knows, really?
Yeah.
I will say, I think that it'll be the thing about Disney that I wish they would do is that they would, Charlie, I'll talk to you about that after we're done. So I think they're going to confirm a big attraction coming, and it'll or area. I think they will. I think they're going to announce it by the end of the year, because while there are several things in the pipeline, I don't think they want to be seen as kind of like we're not doing anything while in 2025 Epic Universe is opening. So while I don't think it's going to be able to be like that fast tracked, maybe it could be by Epic Universe. There could be a major expansion somewhere.
I can't imagine. I mean, if we don't see something at one of the parks under construction right now, there's nothing new big opening for 2025 for Disney in Florida.
Right. Well, I guess it has to do with what are they like? Do they need to build an entire? Are they going to refresh something like the Tiana's Bayou Adventure? Like what could be fast tracked and all that? Well, that's who knows.
I think that it's really hard to say. I mean, Disney is so in flux right now. They're restructuring the whole company back to sort of the way it was 2 years ago, and I think that I don't think that Bob Iger is as risk adverse as Chapek was. I think he took some big swings, with the Galaxy's Edge and 2 of them, and the Star Wars Hotel and everything, and the Guardians, and I think if Disney wanted to announce something big, they've got to announce some sort of boutique, another big boutique experience, like like the Universal mini park, but like let's see the Villains Park, let's see the after hours Villains Park,
right?
Not just like a little mini land on the other side of Big Thunder Mountain, like in that.
Well, they mentioned that. I mean, who knows what'll happen with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like they were really grasping for straws at D23. Not to rehash that, but I can't think of a single thing. Like I watched the show earlier today, and I was just like, I feel like we're left in the same position. It's just like, I mean, who knows? It's like the craziest thing I could imagine is if they announce a new park, somewhere.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
I think,
but
I'd say I'll predict that I think they could. That same team that works on Story Living could announce a project, because I mean that segment's been announced or been apart for a couple of years. I think at this point, that same segment could announce something, some sort of location-based experience. I think that's. I'm going to predict it, whether it's like a gift shop or something major. I think that's possible. So
like if only there was a way to get the Disney experience into malls across America, or
retail's hard. I mean, retail's really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, FECs are hard to get a return on too. So, all right, how about just operationally going to theme parks? I made a prediction that they were going to be heavily modifying their park reservation system. That did not happen. They held to it.
They're making way too much money the way it is right now. So I think unless people are like rioting at the gates, I think that the reservation system will continue.
So I'll make this that I think that likely by year end, I think that we're going to see annual passes brought back to Disney World. Like they're not selling them right now. I think they're going to bring them back. I think we're going to see the trams come back. That's more of a hopeful thing.
The trams aren't back at Disney World yet?
They're only at Magic Kingdom and at Animal Kingdom. They haven't brought them back too, which is just not good for accessibility and for a lot of reasons. I'm a big. It's troublesome.
It's not a good look.
No, just put a trams by that. Like they invested all this infrastructure in the trams. Run your trams. It's not. And this is the interesting thing is like when so my wife and I we went to Magic Kingdom for 3 days. We hadn't done it yet with Maximus. My son, he's 9 months old, and we didn't want to be like coming in and parking and tramming in the monorail. We wanted to stay close by. So Kia got a nice discount at one of the hotels. She works at Disney, and you go to the parks and they are very well staffed. Like there's not a moment where I'm like, oh, there should have been a cast member there that like waved me through. No, they almost have more than enough people. So like operations at Disney World are solid. So like when I don't get why they can't hire or afford a 20-person crew to do the tram or whatever it is, it just seems weird. Like I don't know how to connect the dots of like why they won't just do that, because it's like, oh, it costs money. It's like, yeah, but like they have 10 people standing on Main Street waving flashlights around when they only needed 2, or whatever that is. Like it just seems like a weird. I don't get the disconnect. Like I'm never at the parks now. Like, oh, this feels understaffed. No, it feels very well staffed, and everyone's very knowledgeable, and everyone's doing great. Had a great experience. So I'm confused. Generally confused by it. You know, they got 8 people working the monorail station, but not tram. You know, I don't know. So,
Is the tram drivers like in some sort of some union like they are here, like at Universal, like in the Teamsters?
No, I mean there's unions out here, but like they're not even like posting for those jobs right now. Like it's not like a weird, it could be done.
Maybe it's just like they just don't want to spend the money on maintenance and fuel.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's maintenance, but like, yeah, but like you pay money. So many places where I could walk to the park and say, hey, you're leaving money at the table here, and alcohol at Magic Kingdom, like, but at carts. Just have one beer cart at Magic Kingdom, and it would pay for trams 3 times over at all the parks.
It's true.
That's the whole thing. So, so it's interesting to see that unfold. Trams come back. I'm hopeful. There was signage that came out for the parking lots at Epcot that had all the characters in the internet and kind of polarizing over it.
I don't understand the polarization. Like, so what?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, I don't know, but Space Tram, that Space Tram. I'm gonna go on the Space Tram. I don't remember what the other tram was. Space, and maybe it was water. I don't know what it was, but I hope they're gonna come back. So that's a hopeful prediction that they're gonna come back. Park reservation system. I do believe that for hotel guests, gone. I think it's gonna be gone. Completely gone. I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine them putting that pressure on people who are already. If you're staying there, go to whatever parking lot. That I'm only gonna say that because I really ate a lot of crow on that one. I was like, they're doing hotel guests. It's just gonna be like, go whatever park you want. And the only thing that I feel like is kind of keeping the park reservation system alive. Well, not only I know there's a lot of, because like a lot of stuff like forecasting they used to do all the time. They always did. They did it before. They can artificially keep people away or whatever. Okay, whatever. But it's going to be the virtual queues for attractions because they kind of want to know who's going to the park that day to then be able to book it. So the other solution to that is to just go and show up, and then as you get to the main gate, which is what they did for Rise of the Resistance when it first opened for those first few months in 2019. But like to me, like as a practical guest, like that's the only reason. It's like, okay, I want to wake up and try to book my my pass for this ride before I go to the park. So I don't know how it's gonna all fan out. So other predictions I'll make. How about you, Benny? Any other? I mean, now that I've actually rambled on a little bit, any from on your end?
I think that they'll probably reduce the restrictions for the Magic Key holders here in Anaheim eventually too. I would hope.
Got it. Yep. Would you become a Magic Key holder again or an Annual Pass holder?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm going again on Friday with a cast member friend, and it's just like, I'm happy to go whenever they want to go and they invite me, so probably not.
Right. Good deal. All right. Well, any industry at large announcements? Industry-wise, we saw a lot of kind of the old, a lot of companies being swooped up by different bigger company or conglomerates or whatever, not conglomerates, but companies combining. Tate acquired Thinkwell and iTech. Any other broad predictions?
Well, we already saw non-themed entertainment related, but I think tangentially related, as I'll try to explain. We saw the big announcement last year about Neom in Saudi Arabia and the Line in Saudi Arabia as well. I think that I've known about a lot of the stuff in Saudi for a long time now. I think we're going to see this year is going to be some really big announcements to the general public about all of the themed entertainment offerings coming to the KSA.
Right.
I think that it's going to be shocking for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's going to seem unbelievable, but they've got more money than God, literally, and certainly the will of the people is there and the government. So, I don't be shocked when you see something shocking announced for KSA.
Okay. Team entertainment announcements. So big announcement for KSA. I going to say I'm gonna make a prediction that you could see a that's a pretty solid prediction. I'm gonna say like there might be a stunning announcement like Josh Tomorrow gets out of his role.
Well, I think that, related to that, I mean, I think that you might see Josh Tomorrow being announced as the next CEO of Disney, because Iger's got 2 years on his contract. And I think by the end of next year, by the end of this year, he's going to announce who's going to replace him the following year.
Yeah, I think Iger's here to stay for several years. I don't think he's actually going anywhere.
You don't think so? You think he's just going to he's like the forever CEO?
Yeah, I do. I think that like the 2 years was just kind of like say, hey, everything like it was. Yes, because like what is he like 65, 67?
No, he's like 71 or 72.
Let's fact check. I mean, Charlie, can you pull up and see how old Bob Iger is? Because 70 is the new 60, 60 is the new 50, 40 is the new 20.
Well, I like that because I turn 49 next week, so
71. I mean, I think he has got at least 5 years in him. At least 5 years in it.
Because he looks great. He looks like he's 60.
Yeah, I don't. They were roaming the parks, Josh and him, and it's just this complete sideline story. When I flew to New York on Thursday, he was on our same flight, and so me and my wife got a picture of him at the airport. We're all walking the same way, so that's fun. He's a super nice guy, by the way, just like very personable and all that. Josh Tomorrow, not Bob Iger. So Bob Iger, yeah, I don't think I don't think there's any reason for him to go anywhere. No one's asking. I mean, the board can kind of do like, hey, this is temporary, but there's no heir apparent of any kind. I mean, if that's the thing. That's why I kind of made the announcement. I think you need Josh to go and do other places. But what I think I think we said about it on the previous episode. What I think needs to happen is they need to have a chief operating officer, like the woman who's right now, like the chief financial officer. They need a chief creative officer. That's the heartblood of the company. So, anyways, I'm going to say that like a big shakeup at Disney could happen like that. I would say at Universal, but that's already happened. They all took the retirement. So
yeah,
who knows? I don't know. Who knows? Who's going to get that senior vice president position? Well, this has been fun. We are going to watch this episode in January of 2024. Happy New Year, Andy.
Happy New Year.
And I look forward to seeing you in a few days and going on Nintendo and Mario or Bowser's channel. I don't know if they call it right, but I'm excited forward to going and seeing it myself.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And please subscribe. Follow our email list. Like us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere. We're here, and we have more episodes in the works, and we'll see you in a little bit, everybody.